Hello everyone, my name is Casimir. I am a nail artist. In this video, I'm going to be doing my nails. From the day that I'm recording this, my new job starts tomorrow, and I can't go looking like this. The inspo I have in mind today is off of this picture right here. This person has really good work, by the way. You should definitely go check them out on Instagram. But I'm gonna take some inspiration off of that nail set and do some of my own. And I am gonna be trying Gel X on myself today. I usually either do hard gel or acrylic, but I've never done gel extensions on myself, so I'm gonna be trying that today with this brand called Evolution Nail Products and their gel extension system. As always, everything I use will be in the description box below if you're ever interested in purchasing any of the items that I use in my videos. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. So before I start, I am going to be cleaning up my cuticle area as well as my natural nail area. I won't have much to cut this time around because I did recently prep my nails. But I am just going to slightly file my natural nail length down because I do have some pre-existing nail damage and I want to get rid of all the damaged portions of my natural nail so that I can let the healthy parts grow out. Yeah, you see how bendy this is? This should not be looking like this. First things first, it doesn't matter if you did your prep 2 days ago, yesterday, I don't care. We are going to prep our nails, and first step is to push back the cuticles. If you're doing this on yourself, obviously you can feel the pain and your sensitivity, but if you're doing this on somebody else, just be sure to have a gentle hand because a lot of people tend to be sensitive in the cuticle area, and we never want to cause anybody any harm. And this step isn't necessary, but I'm used to prepping my nails with an e-file as well as prepping other clients' nails with an e-file. And I already have experience, so you don't have to do this step, but if you feel brave enough to do it, go ahead and test it out. Preferably on yourself though, so you know how light of a hand to have. And up next, we are going to trim the cuticle area to make sure we are getting rid of all of the dead skin. Because come on now, we cannot be putting brand new nails on top of crusty skin. And just something I want to tell y'all, please always be careful handling cuticle nippers. We never want to accidentally nick ourselves or our clients because that is a very easy way to expose them and ourselves to potential bacteria entering that wound, which can cause long-term nail issues if the area were to get infected. So believe me when I say you literally have no reason to rush this step. If anything, you should be going as slow as possible to make sure that we are taking care of the dead skin only and not cutting into living skin. This is my personal hand file, so just ignore how dirty it looks. I always use a new one for clients. This is a 100 and 180 grit file. I'm gonna take the 180 side, which is this one, the soft one, and I'm going to prep all my natural nails. I usually prep my nail beds with a sanding band and my e-file, but honestly, a hand file works just fine. I recommend a hand file for beginners anyway, just because you have more control over it as opposed to an e-file. And the purpose of this step is to remove the shine off of the natural nail and lightly score the nail plate to give it some texture so that your gel can adhere properly. And again, you always want to have a very light hand when you're working with a natural nail. We never want to thin our own nails or our client's nails over time due to a heavy hand. Thin, damaged, and overfiled nails can just be one of the many reasons why your nails lift. I know that's definitely the reason mine lift. After I have cut my cuticles and prepped my natural nail, I'm going in with a fine grit ball bit to seal my cuticle area. This step just prevents me from getting any hangnails. I'm not saying it's a magic remedy on its own, but I feel like this step paired with consistent oiling and moisturizing really helps reduce the amount of hangnails I get. like I said, I am going to be using the Evolution Nail Products Gel Extension System, which includes the all-in-one primer, the Gel Bond X, the Fast Tips, and the Touch Mini Lamp. And I'm going to be using the stand that comes with the Touch Mini Lamp. It's just way too big to fit in the video, and it's right here, but y'all aren't going to be able to see it. Just know that it's there. So before we start, I am going to dehydrate all my nails with alcohol. And now that they are all dehydrated, I'm gonna go in with the all-in-one primer. I'm only gonna start off with one hand, and then I'll do this one depending on how I'm feeling, because I still don't know if I want to do both or not. Next, I am going to apply a thin layer of Gel Bond X to all of my natural nails. And y'all, when I say thin, I seriously mean thin. A little bit of this stuff will definitely go a long way. And now that I have that thin coat over my natural nails, I'm gonna go ahead and cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. Now that my nails have cured for 30 seconds, I'm going to take a small bead of Gel Bond X and apply it to the underside of the Fast Tip. And to apply the Fast Tip, you would just place it at the base of your natural nail at a 45-degree angle and just press down until the gel has fully covered your natural nail. Then you would just want to flash cure for 10 seconds to make sure that the gel adheres to both your natural nail and the Fast Tip. That's what it looks like when it's glued on. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process for all of these nails. Now that I have flash cured them all for 10 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and cure it in the big lamp for the full 60 seconds. And now I am going to switch over to a mandrel bit and add a medium grit sanding band. And I am just going to use this at a relatively low RPM just to blend where the tip meets my natural nail. So now I'm just going to shape them. I might just round out the tips a little bit because I do want something between an almond and a stiletto. So like an almondetto. But yeah, I'm not really going to be shortening them at all. I like them this length, so I'm just going to round out the tips and that'll give me the shape I'm going for. When I am filing nail tips, I don't use anything higher than a 180 grit and nothing lower than a 100 grit. You're gonna take forever if you use anything higher than a 180 grit because you're not gonna be able to file the sides down as fast. But here's what they look like all shaped. I wasn't really sure all the colors that I was going to need for this set, but I mixed out an initial palette for my pinky finger. But you'll see as the video goes on, I keep adding colors to my palette as I see fit. Because just from prior experience, I think I'm going to need a color and then I don't end up needing it, and then that's a waste of gel polish. So I've kind of learned just to mix little by little unless I 100% already know what it is that I'm going to be doing. The only times I really know what it is that I'm going to be doing is when I'm either painting a character or I know I'm doing a copy-paste set, meaning I'm doing exactly what I'm seeing in the picture. Which for this set, I'm gonna say it was a mix of copy-paste and also just a bit of my creative input, which is why I didn't end up mixing the palette right off the bat. For these nails, as y'all saw in the inspiration picture, there are a lot of marine and aquatic elements. So I figured the water effect was perfect for this set. If this effect is something that you struggle creating, I have posted a tutorial on my page that breaks down step by step exactly how to create this effect. I've honestly been meaning to create a set like this for the longest time, and at the time that I'm actually doing these nails on myself, it was the day before my first day of work. So I did these nails for my first day of work about 3 weeks ago. I think I finished these nails at like 11:30 that day and probably went to bed at like 12:30 in the morning. And what's crazy is that I didn't even make these nails last. I ripped them off in like 4 days. Like, I literally have such a hard time leaving nails on myself because I know I have the products to easily do something different. And I also just get tired of looking at the same design for like more than 3 days unless I absolutely love it. Which I'm not saying that I didn't love this set, but it just wasn't giving me. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't 100% feeling myself, and it just wasn't going with the aesthetic of my makeup and my outfits and my hair. I don't know, it just was not me. Legit, I think the longest nail set I've had on myself was a koi fish one that I did, and I also posted that on my Instagram if you want to go see that. But I kid you not, I left that one on for like 2 weeks, and I actually did a fill on myself. That's crazy. Like, for me to do a fill, I gotta be sick. And being 100% real with y'all, I honestly shouldn't even be doing my nails at all. They are so thin and so damaged. Like, I actually should honestly just focus on letting them grow and cut until I get rid of all my damaged natural nails. But I actually can't stop myself. Like, if I don't have my nails done, I feel naked. As I'm recording the voiceover for this, the last nail set I had on myself was actually the most recent video that I posted of the Smiling Friends manicure. And I did keep that one on for a solid week and a half, but I ended up ripping them off, and in the process of ripping them off, I think that was like the final straw for my natural nails because they actually hurt to touch now. And it's been like 2 weeks since that happened, so I think I'm gonna have to wait another 2 weeks before I even think about doing anything on my natural nails. Because I think if I actually apply anything that isn't regular polish on my nails, which, spoiler alert, I am not gonna do because I actually hate regular polish, I might actually just end up ripping my entire natural nail off my nail bed, and I really don't want that to happen. So unfortunately, my nails have been bare for like 2 weeks now, and it's actually so horrid. But that's what I get for consistently ripping off my nails instead of actually removing them and soaking them off properly. So let this be a word of advice to my nail biters out there, especially if you're somebody who regularly gets their nails done and cannot feel like yourself if you don't have nails on. I promise you, you don't want to end up like me. Also, in relation to the actual footage that y'all are watching right now, I'm using the Nailz By Dev Shop Clear Trippy Gel. And this goes for all the 3D nail sculpting gels that y'all see out there. Please always make sure that you're wearing gloves when you're handling this medium. Don't be like me and roll it out on your bare hand. Touching the 3D gel with your bare hands is basically the equivalent of touching gel polish with your bare hands. And we never want to potentially expose ourselves to developing an allergy towards a product that we love to use. And you also don't want to develop contact dermatitis, which is something that I've been developing recently just from consistently touching chemicals that aren't meant to be handled with bare hands. So just do yourself a favor and wear the damn gloves. Because I'm telling you right now, chronically dry skin, especially on your hands, is not cute. And it's also just a pain in the ass because they get so itchy out of nowhere sometimes, and I'm like, bro, I could have just prevented it if I listened to my teachers and all these people on TikTok and YouTube telling me not to do it. So yeah, the lesson of this ramble, just wear the gloves. I'll be happy if you wear the freaking gloves, bro. Prior to starting this, I had asked my boyfriend if he had any recommendations for nail sets I should do for my first day of work. And when I showed him these, he said, yeah, you can do them, just do something else apart from the tentacles. And I was like, bro, why? I like the tentacles. So I didn't listen to him and I did them anyway. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I did because this was really fun, but it was also a learning experience. I've never done any sculpted 3D elements on an actual nail before. Like, I do them on press-ons, but I haven't done them on a nail that's already put on me. So it was kind of just fun to learn how to maneuver the gel without being able to turn the nail like I usually do with press-ons. It was also just fun to see this set come to life, to be honest. Like, I feel like this set needed a pop of color, and the tentacle is what did it for me. Also, I know it's not just me, but does anybody else clean up like midway while you're working or as your nails curing? Cause like there's literally nothing else we can do except wait while one hand is curing, so like you might as well clean up so that you don't have as much of a mess to clean up later when you're done. I was gonna put matte top coat on top of the tentacles, but honestly the more I thought about it at the time, it made more sense to do a glossy top coat. I don't know, I think my reasoning was that it would make the tentacle look wet and as if it were underwater, so it made sense to me at the time. And I did decide to use like a 3D gel to kind of simulate the water ripple effect. I feel like this design would have probably translated a little better on a longer nail, but I did it anyway because I always do what I want. And for that white gel polish, you already know we're using White from Evolution Nail Products. This is literally my favorite white gel polish that I have tried to date. And also the cheapest, like $12. What? And a lot of the polishes I did use today were from Nailz By Dev Shop. Unfortunately, I don't have a code with them yet. I didn't say that. But y'all can use one of her brand ambassadors codes to save an extra 10% on your order. And they do have a little separate highlight on their Instagram page with everybody on the team. That highlight includes their BA codes as well as their Instagrams if you wanted to go check all of them out individually and decide for yourself whose code you wanted to use. And y'all, I'm gonna be real with you. By the time that I finished my thumb, I decided I was going to half-ass my ring finger. I was already getting tired and my bed was right behind me and it was looking so cozy and so comfortable. So I kid you not, I think I only spent like 15 minutes on this nail before I was like, I'm calling it for the night, I'm tired. I honestly think the saving grace for this nail was the glitter polish that I used for the base because it honestly just gave it that little extra oomph that it needed to look good without me having to spend way too much time on this or add as many elements as I initially wanted to. And this is kind of just like a little tip I've picked up on. The only charms I will ever apply top coat over are the pearl charms because I've noticed that their like pearlescent coating tends to come off literally after like 2 hand washes, and I don't like the way they look when they're just like a stark white. So putting the top coat over them just prevents that pearlescent coating from coming off. I don't really know why I thought this nail needed these little final touches, but I guess I thought it did, so I did it. But anyway, after all of that, it is finally time to clean up. I love cleaning up my nail station afterward. Like, it's literally just so satisfying to me to see the chaos return back to normalcy when I'm done. And I also just low-key love the smell of isopropyl alcohol. I don't know, it's so rejuvenating. But anyway, here is the final set. It honestly came out so cute and I'm not sure why I ripped it off as fast as I did, but they lasted me long enough through my 2 scheduled shifts of work that week, so they lasted as long as they needed to. That was all for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed watching and I will see you all in the next one. Bye y'all!